Since the AFCON and after videos from iShowSpeed's African tour circulated, people see videos of the level of development in other African countries and the quality of life that their residents live. The most recurring question that I've had from most Nigerians is, how did Nigeria get left behind? And as much as I try to ignore this, the one thing that keeps coming to mind is a short blog post that I wrote a while ago, where apart from the main argument, I listed 5 signs that show a city in entropy. But before I get into listing them, let's explain what entropy is. Entropy simply means the level of disorderliness, the level of anyhowness within a system. And in fact, it has a law, the law of entropy. In short, without sounding scientific, the law basically says that things will naturally continue to fall apart unless you control them. To keep a system functional, whether it is an engine, whether it's a city, even if it's a political system, to keep any system functional, you must continuously invest energy, structure, and coordination. However, the one thing that is certain about entropy is that it doesn't happen suddenly. It will show you signs of imminent collapse. Back to my 5 signs of city in entropy. The first sign is disconnected transportation system, when as basic as roads are not connected to one another. The second is you will have houses here and there without transit and without connecting infrastructure. Number 3, you will see a lot of mega projects, but more impactful community level projects keep failing. And number 4 is when informality and slums keep growing faster than regulation. And number 5 is when every infrastructure development is always a reaction to a crisis that have happened. So where am I going with all of this? You may have heard me say laissez-faire, which is simply a fancy way of saying anything goes. It is when the government just allows the market to run on its own, dictate and influence development by itself, and they just sit back, do approval, and collect revenue. And that is why we are where we are now as a country. Where we are now started so long ago when we thought we could eat our cake and have it. It started the moment we confused basic infrastructure as dividends of democracy and as something with which we reward allies and punish our oppositions. It started when infrastructure planning became campaign promises. But the good thing in all of this is for every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. So for this entropy, what we need now is an equal and proportional amount of structure, of energy, of control, and coordination in order to restore sustainable and resilient infrastructure development planning. What we need now is the intentionality in putting people first before politics and before revenue. And most importantly, to do this very fast in order to avoid a hard reset. I hope this helps.